get ready with me for no specific reason. I just want to get dressed up. So, to start off, you know me as the Red Label. My name's Red. Now, I'm gonna be doing my makeup first, obviously. But, a little bit about me. I'm about to turn 18. I live in a very, very, very small town in the middle of nowhere, Texas. I have very few friends, and those of them that I do are mostly guys, and that's not like a pick-me thing. I just get along better with guys because of the way I was raised. I was raised around a bunch of oil-filled guys, 4 older male cousins. That's what I do. That's who I am, okay? Think who you want of that, but that's who I am. So, there's that. The moisturizer I'll be using today is the CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion, as well as the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream. Now, I have very, very dry skin, so this does the trick. If you have really dry skin, go for Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel, okay? Trust. Now that we have our moisturizer done, I'm going to be going in with the Alleviate Eye Cream. This is what it looks like. It's a teal and pink bottle. Just put it right under here, rub it in there, rub it above your eyes. You're good to go. Also, this, what you're seeing on my face, is from a very bad sunburn. I'm okay, I promise. Now, while that is setting into my eyes, I'm going to use the Bubble Knockout Acne Spot Treatment. This actually works better than most things that I've tried, other than the Starface pimple patches. Those are also amazing. A little bit more about myself. I got 2 sisters. I have 3 dogs. One of them's laying there. I would say that I have a pretty good relationship with most of my family. I don't really talk to half of my family. That is for reasons no need to explain. I am very carefree, very optimistic. I don't care who you are or what you identify as. If you're gonna be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. That's it. A little bit of my background while I go in with my primer. I'm using the LA Colors Space Primer. Very, very small bottle, but who needs big bottles, right? So, a little bit about my background. I was born in Odessa, Texas. My first home was in Odessa, Texas before I moved where I currently am, which I will not be disclosing. I am about to be a senior in high school. Well, I am at this point a senior in high school. I will be in a few films with my very close guy friend that I consider brother. You can find him at DGM Studios on YouTube. Now I'm just gonna moisturize my lips real quick with Vaseline. You know, quick fix for literally anything, honestly. I was very close to my grandfather. I lost my grandfather in 2020 as the pandemic was happening. Lost him to cancer mainly. So, there's that. I'm going to be going in with Maybelline's Fit Me Concealer in the shade Fair, because obviously I'm very pale. I'm going to talk about that. But I have always wanted to become a singer-songwriter. Mainly because that's kind of what my dream was whenever I was little with my grandfather before he passed away. My grandfather, honestly, is the only man that's really been able to show me what love really is up until this year. And he was always one to tell me, don't ever allow a man to tell you what you're worth. Don't ever allow a man to make you feel like you're not worth it. And that was kind of something that I hold very close to me and very dear to me, obviously. Because I did end up breaking up with my last relationship last month. So I hold that information very, very close to me. I'm just gonna do some spot concealer, some spot coverage to kind of help out the sunburn that's going on here. Because, oofa. So we'll get right back. So, with the way that I was raised, my entire family is either oil field or nurses. I don't do people. And yes, I'm used to getting my hands dirty, but I've always been told that it's better for women not to work in the industry of oil field because men are strong, men are biologically stronger, men are, and they are. I'm not saying they're not. They are. But I'm just saying that I don't think we should say, oh, a woman can't do that because she's not strong enough. If she wanted to be strong enough, she very much could be. And that's something that just kind of sticks with me, I guess. Because growing up, my dad was off and on at home because he was always on trips for work. So he was always driving a truck, getting cement places because that's the department that my dad works in, cement for the oil field. And I kind of had to teach myself most of the things that I know about the men's genre until I really started getting back into my life whenever I was starting to get older and my sister was born. However, I also did learn a lot from my cousins because they're all boys. Well, most of them are boys. And so, growing up that way, it was kind of like, you kind of had to fend for yourself. Because if you didn't, you still had to figure it out either way. But, with the way that we were raised, it was more of a, if you get hurt, rub some dirt on it. If only reason that you shouldn't rub dirt on it is if you're dying. That's it. If you're not dying, you're fine. We are going to be using Cavsense 18 color eyeshadow. I've used a lot, but that's besides the point. Get a lot closer. So, a little bit more about me. You already know I'm 18, my siblings, blah, blah, blah. I'm currently in a long distance relationship. And here's the thing. Whenever I broke up with my ex, he told me that I would never find somebody who was going to deal with the things that he dealt with and was never going to stay for as long as he did. And nobody else was going to put up with my bullshit. However, this long distance relationship I'm in treats me like a queen and has never even met me in person. He listens to understand, which, yes, that's what all of us want. He doesn't care about where I live or how much money I have or what my friends' genders are. He doesn't care. All he cares about is that I'm happy, he's happy, and that we're both saving up to one day hopefully fly him over here to stay, because he does want to move to the US because he lives in New England. So yes, I'm in a very long distance relationship. Yes, I am happy with my decision. Would not change it for the world. I mean, he treats me like a literal queen, and never even met him in person. He is understanding. He completely gets me. He wants to get to know me more and more every single day. So obviously, if one man won't, another man will. Remember that, ladies. Because, ooh, all of the things that this man is doing is not what my ex was doing. At all. Let's be real. But whenever you really think about it, do any of us honestly think that the person that leaves us will find someone better? No. No, we don't. But we only think that because we don't know what we did wrong in the relationship. Or because we're emotionally unintelligent and closed off. But most of the time, it's because we don't know what we did wrong in the relationship. And we don't want to listen to what our then ex has to say about it, because we don't want to know what we did wrong. And personally, that is something that we all need to work on, because if you are not willing to learn what you did wrong, to be able to even try to understand, maybe it's a good thing that they left. Maybe it's a good thing that they walked out. Because you need to be able to understand and want to listen to understand to be able to know. Because if you aren't, then there's no point of having the conversation on why they left. It's just, they left. And I personally am so glad I did what I did. Because if I wouldn't have, would I be being treated as the queen that I am? No. And would I have hated myself later? Yes. Yes, I would have. But enough about that. Let's talk about my hopes and wishes for the future. I honestly hope that my opportunity that I have now ends up working out, and I start with my music career pretty soon, because honestly, that's what I wanted to do my whole life. I mean, it's the thing that's made me happy. It's the thing that has made it where I can connect with others. My music is my everything, to be honest. It's the one thing that has not let me down compared to everything else. And that's saying something, honestly. Now, on to the next topic. I honestly didn't have a lot of faith in myself at first. Until, that is really shimmery. Until I really started putting my music out there. I had no idea what was going to happen with it. I had no idea if it was going to blow up or if I was going to fail and completely just want to give up on my music career. But thankfully, I've had some very important people message me and notice me. And I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have posted that first video, to be quite honest. So it all works out in the end. if you're having doubts about something, do it. Because if you don't, you'll probably regret it later. And if you do, you'll be very thankful that you did. Because I was having high doubts about whether or not I really wanted to put my music out there at the beginning. Just because I was so afraid that nobody would notice me. So glad I did. Because at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself, you need to do it. We are going to do my eyebrows real quick, and I'm using the Cavsent eyebrow in the shade brown. It literally doesn't have the shade on it, but this is a brown shade. However, I'm only going to be brushing my eyebrows out today. Now, as for quite literally the rest of my makeup, I have no idea what's going to be happening. I honestly didn't even know that I was going to be doing this with my eyes. I just let it happen. So sometimes not knowing what's going to happen is a good thing. Now I'm going to go in with my blush in the shade Goddess by Pretty Smart. Yes, I've used a lot of it. It is gorgeous. It is, if you are fair shaded, like if you are fair toned, this is our friend. This is our best friend. First, we are going to get rid of the excess powder that is here. Anywhere on the face, mainly under the eyes and up on that high cheekbone. Because if there's excess, it will flake. It will show, I promise. Oh yeah. Look at that pigment. She's gorgeous. I've been using this for a very long time. To a point where she's my best friend. Okay, this is my best friend. And I know it looks like a lot, but trust, it's not as much as it looks. Especially on camera. And even if you do put a little too much, you can always go back with a tad bit of concealer and go over it and it'll lighten it up. Now for highlighter, I'm going to be using Milani Liquid Highlighter in the shade Lunar at the very top there. It's a very, very pretty liquid eyeshadow, or liquid highlighter. So sorry. I put it just on the cheekbone. Use a very nice brush to even it all out. And you can even put it directly on the brush, like so, to get an even more even, full look. And for this highlighter, you have to squeeze the bottle to get it to come out of the sponge. Oh yeah. We love a good moment. You put it on the nose. I like putting it here as well, on the bridge of my nose, just because it adds a little bit, and I always just smooth it out. Just smooth it out. You'll be okay. Now, finally, we are going to do my lashes and my waterline. And I'm going to be doing LA Colors Auto Eyeliner in the color Light, because this needs some brightening. Okay, now that that is on, we are going to use Great Lash Maybelline New York Clear Liquid Eyeliner. However, I'm going to go over it once and then use a lighter on my eyelash curler. If you haven't tried that, I highly suggest it. I live by it. And then I'm going to go over it again. So we have done that now. We're going to go over it one more time. And then we are also going to use Cavsent's mascara. It's going to add a little bit of volume, a little bit of dimension, a little bit of color. We'll be alright. Now that we've done that, we're going to do our lips. And we are going to line it in two different colors. I'm going to do LA Colors Lip Liner Pencil in the shade Natural. And then I'm also going to be doing my inner corners and just under this one with Revlon's Colorstay Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Plum. We're gonna do that real quick. Now that we have that, we are going to go in with LA Colors Glossy Lips Moisturizing Sheer Lip Gloss. It is very clear. It's just a regular old clear lip gloss. It's beautiful. And we are going to set the face and we will be fully done. I'm using Revlon's Colorstay Lock Setting Mist. This setting spray nozzle, as you would call it, is not forgiving. Spray it above your head, let it fall onto your face. Trust. Now that we have that done, we're going to put on the outfit and we will reveal. And here we are, ready for the day.